Hi there. So I'm going to show you really quickly how to use a tool called FontMeme. It is how I put in pretty fonts into my Google Slides that I typically use for titles and headers. So FontMeme is actually a website. So if you go to fontmeme.com, it's going to take you here. So FontMeme is great because you don't have to download any fonts onto your computer. You just upload them as images into your Google Slide. So what I like about it is it has like the really popular fonts for magazines, movies, TV shows. So at the beginning of the school year, I did a Guardians of the Galaxy activity, and I was able to search for the movie here, and then I was able to use the font that they used in the movie, which just helped with my thematics for my activity. So to use FontMeme, when you get to the homepage, you're going to go over here to font collections, and over here is where kind of all the groups of fonts. So you have basic, style, hand, etc. I typically use brush, calligraphy, and handwriting. Those are my three go-tos, but definitely spend time in here looking through all the different fonts. If you're interested in using them, for like your business or something, it will tell you here what you're allowed to use with the fonts too, which is really great. So I'm going to go to handwriting, and I'm just going to search through and see. There's lots of pages, so if you have the time. I really like this font, Scripty CA, so I'm going to select that. It will give me a preview here. I can download it if I want to my computer, but I don't like to do that anymore, so I like to just use it here. One thing to check is that if you want to use numbers or symbols, make sure that they show up here. If they don't, then you're just going to get a weird box because it doesn't have the character. All right, so down here is where you're going to generate your text. So if I'm doing a weekly update slide, I'm just going to type in week 2 here. My font is right there. Font size, I would do 600 or just a big size. Select an effect. There's lots of different effects and gradients you can use here, but I typically just use it as none. And then here is where you select your color. One of the tools that I use with this, it's called Eyedropper. And what it does is if you have something in your Google slide that you want to match. So if you are trying to make everything just work well together, and let's say you have a box here, and you pick this color here, okay, and you want the text of your slide up here to match this color. It's a Google Chrome extension called Eyedropper. You're going to select it here. Then you're going to go to pick color from web page, and then see how this box changes colors when I drag it over things. It's going to find colors for you. So I'm going to select here. I'm going to go back up to my eyedropper, and then I'm going to copy and paste this number right here, and that's the color number. I'm going to bring it back, and I'm going to paste it right here for select color, and then see it changes it automatically. If you're really good at picking out colors here, you can do that as well, but I typically find the number of the color I want to use. So then you go to generate, and then it will generate a preview of your text here so you can see that if you like it or not. One thing that if you do white for your color, when you generate it, it's not going to show up here because it's white. So just know that if it's not showing up, it's not that it's not working, it's just that the text is white. So I'm going to do this color again. All right, now I'm ready. I like it. I'm going to go to embed, and I'm going to copy the direct image link. I'm going to go back to my Google slide. I'm going to insert it as an image. I'm going to paste and then insert. And then now I have my text that I can make smaller. And I'm going to move it right up here. And then now I have this text to use. Okay. Another tip. So let's say I wanted to bring it right here and you can't see it. If you go to format options and you go to drop shadow, it's going to add a shadow behind it, and you can change the transparency and the angle to make it kind of pop out. So you can play around with this and see like what works best. But I really like drop shadow. It just adds something to the text and just makes it kind of pop out a little bit. Another tip in format options is recolor. So if you get here and you're like, I don't really like the color, this lets you just change the color here. So you can it's kind of all in the same color family, the palettes that work really well together. So it lets you update your colors here. All right, and that is how you use FontMeme to bring in pretty fonts into your Google Slides.